Bundy's Garage, Bundy here. Today we're working on a 2001 Honda Odyssey. This will cover from 1999 to 2000 to 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. This might also apply to the vans above 2004. Same principle. But we need to change out this bracket right here. I bought a new one, which actually comes with just this piece here. Not this bracket, comes with a new spring. I'll be changing that over as well. Let me show you that real quick. So here's the bracket that I got from rockauto.com. It's $38. You know what? I didn't. I'm so sorry. Here's the bracket I got from Amazon. It wasn't from Rock Auto. I'll put a link in the description below. But it just comes with this piece right here. It doesn't come with the other bracket, so I have to transfer that over. You're going to want to mark on the top and on the bottom with a permanent marker the placing. These two bolts right here are 12 millimeter. That's what needs to come out. We're also going to need to remove this panel. And you do that by taking off right side tail light. So here's the door. Right here on the track, that 10 millimeter right there. It's a 10 millimeter bolt. You need to remove that as well to get that side panel off. So there's two screws in the back. There's one bolt right here at 10 millimeter that needs to come out, and then you'll be able to get this panel out. Right here and here, you're gonna have two screws back there that you have to take out, and then this whole assembly, the whole rear tail light will come out and give you access to the two screws that are needed for this panel right here, and then the 10 millimeter up front. And we'll be able to get this off. We'll take off these two 12 millimeter bolts. The door will actually, that door will actually fall down. So you're gonna want to get like a jack stand with a towel on top to support it. I'll show you that when I get there. So we have the two doors open right here, two access panels. Basically two little screws in there. Go ahead and unscrew both of those. Twist the connector and the bulb comes right out. Put the screws in a secure place so you don't lose them. Here's the bolt from the front of the van, from the front of this access panel. The bolt from right there, just a 10 millimeter, little short guy. Get the door about halfway here. As you can see, there's the back, tail lights removed. Here's the door. Now we have to remove these two screws, and then we'll be able to get this panel off. Just two Phillips. Two screws are out. To get this thing out, you pull back and just work it out. Try not to scratch the paint on the bracket. Okay, just work it out. Make sure you don't scratch it on the bracket. Okay, here's the bracket we're replacing. So these are two 12 millimeters. So I'm gonna get that right there. Get a towel to protect the paint. And have a jack stand in place or something to hold the door because it will fall. Okay, once you take this last one out, the door will fall, so be ready to catch it or support it on something. Kind of pick it up on the bottom a little bit. Get this bolt out. Okay, the door is resting on the jack stand. Don't move the assembly at all. Just lift this up, walk it out. Okay, on the bottom here, you have two like hook eyes. Got slack over on that side. Once I loosen the inside up, I was able to get those two pins in very easily. So let me show you what I did there. So I didn't pull this whole panel off directly. There's a screw right here you need to pull off. Had to pull the speaker away. Pop that little cover off. Left this bolt in place. There's a bolt up there for the other seat belt. And I just pop this part off. Okay? When you go in there, right there is a mechanism to loosen it. So you actually have to pull that thing out. That pulls out like this, counterclockwise. So I'm going to rotate it clockwise and see if I can get it to tighten up. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Let me check outside real quick, see if it tightened up. Just spun that thing clockwise. Yep, took the slack off. This piece right there goes in here. There's one screw there. You have to unbolt that here. And then near the front, there's also a bolt for the seatbelt that you have to remove. And then just this thing just gets pried off. Oh yeah, you also have to remove the speaker as well. Take a look at the back side real quick. You have a bunch of these little pegs, pins that get pushed into the steel on the door. These clips get pushed around the molding, so you have to pop the molding off a little bit to get it back in to situate right. But then once I did that, it gave me access to this. This is the gear that actually controls the. So right there you can see that's part of the pulley system. That's the steel cable. So to actually loosen this, you pull this out and you go counterclockwise. Just make sure that doesn't fall out. To tighten it, pull it back out, go clockwise. Okay. I ended up having to go to Honda get this piece. The one that I got from Amazon. This part right here was actually tapered down like this. I'll put a picture of it right now. But I actually had to end up going to the dealership. The part where you saw me cutting with an oxyacetylene torch was this pin right here. I had to bang or get that old pin out with the old bracket. So your best bet if you're going to attempt this job, just go to the dealership, buy this part. I know you're trying to save money like I was too. It's just so much of a hassle to try to get this pin out. This one's a little bit different because it has a C-clip right here. You probably pop that C-clip off, pound the pin out, pull this pin all the way through, and use the old bracket. And right here are your hoses for the rear heater. If you haven't replaced these, I'll put a link in the description below, but go ahead and replace them because if you get a leak back here, it's just that much of a hassle. I had to remove this panel to get access to this wheel, to loosen up the wire to get the new roller assembly in. So go ahead and take your time on this. As a mechanic, I always try to find the quickest way to get a job done, but there was no way to I have the new assembly on. This was the old busted out one. You see the rollers aren't even there. Already have it inside. One thing to remember and take note is right here on this back side of the plate, there's a shim. There's a shim right here. So go ahead and take it off the old one. Make sure you put it on a new one. I just used some spray adhesive to get this to stay on. So I'll spray this part and then apply it to the new one. The new roller assembly is in place. One thing I did notice, and I looked on the other side as well, there's a rubber bumper that's supposed to be right here. On the top it's missing, so I need to go to Honda get that for this side and the driver's side as well. You can see right down there, this is the bottom one. There's one for the bottom, but there's not one for the top. So another thing to look, this is a striking plate. This part goes into the striking plate. So there's a new roller assembly from Honda. This is a striking plate, so one thing to watch out for is make sure that that striking plate hits, this latch hits the striking plate. That's one thing you want to make sure. So before you start doing the door automatically, go ahead, close it, open it and close it a couple times. Make sure it's good to go. So I'll show you that right now. So as you can see right there, it latched correctly. As you could hear, as it closed, it made a little shaking noise. I believe that's striking the top right there. Yeah, so I need to get that top part. Alright, boys and girls, if you have found any of my videos helpful, please consider subscribing to Bunny's Garage. Questions, comments, concerns, you can email me at bunnysgarage@gmail.com. The next thing will be to get this panel back in place. I won't bore you with that. And like always, I'll keep them rolling for you.